Roman Reigns' new enforcer and right-hand man to appear. 2 names to betray OTC. 4 predictions for the Bloodline saga after WWE SmackDown. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. While Roman Reigns was absent from the latest episode of WWE SmackDown, the show saw his arch-rival, Solo Sikoa, return for the first time since his loss against the OTC in tribal combat. However, the self-proclaimed leader of the new Bloodline walked out on his faction. This left the fans, along with Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, confused. Solo's walkout could be the start of a fresh chapter in this riveting Bloodline saga, and it will be interesting to see how things progress from here. On that note, here are 4 bold predictions for the Bloodline storyline after the latest episode of SmackDown. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga could ruin Roman Reigns' acknowledgement ceremony. Roman Reigns is set to be acknowledged as the undisputed tribal chief of the Bloodline on the January 27 episode of Raw. However, things may not end well for the OTC on the show, as he could be interrupted by the new Bloodline. After Solo Sikoa walked out on his team, Jacob Fatu could take over the leash of the new Bloodline in the coming days. The Samoan Werewolf, along with Tama Tonga, could interrupt Roman Reigns' acknowledgement ceremony, launching a brutal attack on him. This potential angle could lead to a massive reunion. More on this in the next point. Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso could save the OTC. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga's potential interference in Roman Reigns' acknowledgement ceremony could lead to Jimmy Uso showing up to make the save. However, Big Jim may fall victim to the new Bloodline's numbers advantage. This could then lead to Solo Sikoa returning to make the save. The Street Champion could turn face by showing up to help the OTC against the heels. Following that, Jimmy and Solo could acknowledge Reigns as the undisputed tribal chief. While Big Jim could be the new right-hand man, Solo could take his place back as the enforcer of Reigns' bloodline. The Rock could betray Roman Reigns. Following Roman Reigns' win against Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman declared that the OTC will enter the 2025 Royal Rumble in his quest to regain the undisputed WWE title. However, Reigns may fail to win the high-stakes bout due to interference from The Rock. There have been speculations about a potential match between Reigns and the final boss at WrestleMania this year. While the High Chief may have honored the OTC with the You Love Falla on Raw's debut on Netflix, he could turn on Roman to lay down the breadcrumbs for the rumored Mania match. The final boss could make a surprise appearance in the Rumble and eliminate Roman, much to the shock of fans. Paul Heyman could also turn on the OTC. Rumors of Paul Heyman betraying Roman Reigns have been doing the rounds on the internet for quite some time. While nothing has come of it yet, things may finally change in the coming days. As fans must be aware, Heyman has a history of betraying his clients. If The Rock, who is the High Chief of the Bloodline and a member of the TKO Board of Directors, turns on Reigns, Heyman could side with the Power, joining forces with the final boss. The WWE Hall of Famer betraying Roman for The Rock would not only draw a lot of eyeballs, but also spice things up in the Bloodline saga. In a stunning turn of events on WWE SmackDown, Roman Reigns, the dominant Universal Champion, has introduced a new enforcer and right-hand man, shaking up the landscape of the Bloodline saga. Reigns, known for his ruthless tactics and undeniable leadership, has continually reinvented himself and his faction to maintain supremacy. The addition of a new enforcer to the Bloodline not only brings fresh intrigue, but also raises the stakes for the coming weeks in WWE's most compelling storyline. Fans have been speculating for months about the future of Reigns' faction, especially with key members like Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Solo Sikoa already entrenched in the group. However, as the Bloodline continues to expand, questions arise. Who could this new enforcer be, and what does this mean for the future of the Bloodline? Could this move signal a new era for Roman Reigns and his allies, or is it the beginning of a dramatic downfall? The introduction of a new enforcer in the Bloodline is particularly significant because it highlights a shift in Roman Reigns' philosophy. Historically, Reigns has prided himself on maintaining control over his faction, using his ruthless dominance to ensure loyalty from his family members. However, with the impending threats that loom in the form of potential betrayals and internal strife, Reigns has realized that his hold over the Bloodline could serve as both an asset in combat and a tool to keep his brothers in check, ensuring they don't lose sight of the group's primary objective: total dominance of WWE. This new enforcer, likely to be a powerhouse both in the ring and on the mic, is expected to have an imposing presence. With the possibility of being a former ally or an entirely new face to the WWE universe, the identity of the enforcer has been a topic of endless speculation. Some fans have pointed to various superstars who have the size, strength, and charisma to fit into this role, including those who have recently been seen in the WWE ecosystem, but haven't fully committed to any other faction or storyline. The addition of such a figure would provide Roman Reigns with an even stronger and more versatile unit to wreak havoc on WWE's current roster. Reigns' position as the tribal chief and leader of the Bloodline could also face challenges in the near future. With tensions running high among his faction members, the question on everyone's mind is who will betray Reigns and when. Rumors are swirling about two names in particular who might be looking to turn their backs on the Bloodline. These potential betrayals could be the catalysts that shift the entire power structure within the faction and WWE itself. One of the most talked about figures in this situation is Jimmy Uso. For some time now, Jimmy has been struggling with his loyalty to Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. His brother Jey Uso's departure and the ongoing internal conflict within the group could lead Jimmy to make a drastic decision. If Jimmy were to betray Reigns, it would not only cause a rift in the faction, but could also spark a long-running feud that may eventually lead to Jimmy and G teaming up against the tribal chief. The fallout from such a betrayal would undoubtedly have profound consequences on the entire WWE roster. Another name that has been heavily speculated to potentially betray Roman Reigns is Solo Sikoa. Although Sikoa has been a loyal enforcer for Reigns thus far, there have been subtle hints that he may eventually rebel against the tribal chief. His role as Reigns' enforcer has placed him in a difficult position, caught between his loyalty to Reigns and his own ambitions. If Solo were to break away from the Bloodline, it could set the stage for an epic showdown between the two, as Solo has demonstrated that he is more than capable of holding his own in the ring. Such a conflict would create one of the most heated rivalries in WWE history, and could potentially change the trajectory of the Bloodline saga forever. The combination of a new enforcer and the potential for betrayals within the Bloodline sets the stage for several exciting predictions. Fans have been eagerly awaiting the next chapter in this ongoing saga, and there are numerous possible directions the story could take. One of the most likely predictions is that Roman Reigns will face a major challenge from within his own faction. With tensions rising, it's only a matter of time before the cracks in the Bloodline become impossible to ignore. If Jimmy Uso or Solo Sikoa were to betray Reigns, it could lead to a dramatic shift in the faction's power dynamics and force Roman Reigns to take even more drastic measures to maintain control. Another prediction centers around the potential rise of a new rival faction. With the introduction of a new enforcer and the possible departure of key Bloodline members, the door is open for a new group to emerge and challenge Reigns' reign as the tribal chief. This new faction could consist of former WWE superstars who have been waiting for the right opportunity to strike, or current roster members who have been biding their time. A fresh rivalry could provide the perfect backdrop for Reigns to prove his dominance once again, but it could also push him to the brink of losing everything that has gained traction. Is the possibility of the Bloodline undergoing a massive shakeup. The departure of key members or betrayals within the group could lead to a reformation, with Roman Reigns forging new alliances and potentially bringing in new talent to strengthen his position. This could also open the door for other WWE superstars to join the faction, creating a new, more dangerous version of the Bloodline. The idea of Reigns rebuilding his faction is an intriguing one, as it would allow him to reshape the group in his own image and solidify his grip on WWE's top tier. Finally, there's the long-term prediction that Roman Reigns' reign as the tribal chief will eventually come to an end, whether through a dramatic betrayal or an outside force that is able to topple the seemingly indestructible champion. Reigns has held the Universal Championship for an incredible length of time, and while he remains the most dominant force in WWE, there is always the possibility that someone will rise up to challenge him. The introduction of a new enforcer and the potential for internal strife within the Bloodline could be the perfect setup for an epic showdown that results in Reigns' eventual defeat. Whether this happens at WrestleMania or during a future pay-per-view event, the anticipation surrounding the downfall of the tribal chief is sure to be one of the most talked-about moments in WWE history. As WWE SmackDown continues to unfold, the future of Roman Reigns and the Bloodline remains uncertain. With the arrival of a new enforcer, the possibility of betrayals, and a host of unpredictable twists and turns, the coming weeks are poised to be some of the most exciting in WWE's recent history. Whether the Bloodline can maintain its hold on power, or whether new challengers will emerge to dethrone Roman Reigns remains to be seen. However, one thing is clear. The saga of the Bloodline is far from over, and fans are in for a rollercoaster ride of action, drama, and surprises. The next chapter promises to be as thrilling as anything WWE has ever seen, leaving fans eagerly anticipating what will happen next. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updated news.